are coming to you from the beautiful city, Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon, WGN Sports presents White Sox baseball. It's Paul Konerko, Adam Dunn, Alex Rios and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Ryan Zimmerman and the Washington Nationals. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this 6-game homestand and this 3-game set with Washington. This will be the rubber match. Nats took the opener 9-5 in 14 innings. Then yesterday, a lot of help out of that bullpen after Johnny Danks went down with that pulled groin. Sox won it 3-0. So this afternoon, Philip Humber.
Philip Humber's been unbelievable. He's 7-3. His ERA is 2.90. He's been the most consistent starter for the Sox all year long. He fought his way into the starting rotation, continues to stay there with his performance. Hopefully today will be a good one, and the Sox can win their 18th straight interleague play series. That's going to happen against Livan Hernandez, who is the ultimate soft tosser. He's a guy who will throw it slow, slower, and slowest. You can't look for the fastball because he doesn't throw you many. This year, 4-8, his ERA just under 4. This is a guy who's going to be long into the game. The best thing of what he does, he's not going to be able to do today, and that's hit. So let's beat him today.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Literally not a cloud in the sky. Temperatures at 73 degrees. You couldn't ask for better weather. As the Sox come in 3.5 games back in the Central. So we'll take a look at how the Nationals are going to line up today. Bernardino has been very impressive leading off, and it's Worth hitting second with Zimmerman third. Then Nix, Morris, Espinosa, the switch hitter, will hit from the left side today. Ramos, Hairston, and Cora rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Philip Humber. Pierre Rios and Quinton in the outfield. Tian Vizquel, Beckham, and Konerko in the infield. A.J. Pierzynski gets a nod behind the plate. And Philip Humber, 2.90 ERA, looking for his 8th win. Opponents hitting a paltry 2.04 against him. Pounds the strike zone and gets the breaking ball over, and that's been the secret for his success. The umpires for the game today at home, it's Marty Foster. At first, it's Bill Welke. At second, it's Jeff Nelson. And at third, it's Mike Estabrook. Ozzie knows his team is just 3.5 games back. Cleveland and Detroit are tied atop the AL Central. For today, for the last day, John McLaren is going to manage his team. Davey Johnson is in Chicago. He will take the reins tomorrow. And he's a manager with a very long and very successful resume. So we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, Stone Pony, thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here for WGN Sports. So happy you could join us for the finale, the rubber match of this 3-game set, and the finale of the 6-game homestand. As Roger Bernardino, first pitch, strike. Bernardino comes in hitting at 287, 4 homers. He's driven in 16.
I like the way he chokes up on the bat, and he's shown good bat control in this series.
He has fouled off some extremely difficult pitches until he got one he could hit. Had 4 hits in the first game. He's 5 for 11.
And really one of the few left-hand hitters that we've seen this year that can consistently hit high fastballs.
It's a lot easier when you choke up.
Yeah, the Sox have tried him in different places. He does have great speed, and if he gets on, he's one of their most prolific base stealers.
And that breaking ball outside. Nationals come in hitting at 235 as a club with a 3.49 ERA. That's pretty good. There he is, choking up.
Fouls off a lot of high pitches.
Stevie, it's amazing how many guys would help themselves by choking up.
Just take it 1 inch up.
That's it.
And that's
1 inch.
That's it. Much more control. One thing Bernardino has done in this series, if you can get that fastball on the outside corner, keep it down, he has a tendency to ground to the right side because he can try to pull a lot of pitches.
And there's a little soft Doc Edwards shot to third. So 1 out. And here at beautiful US Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center. So 1 out to the right fielder, Jason Worth, hitting at 232, 10 homers. He's driven in 27. He is 1 for 10 in the series. And this is the 6th meeting between these two teams in interleague play. In the first 5, Sox have won 4. There's first pitch strike.
2 hitters, 2 first ball fastball strikes. Sets up a completely different at bat.
Well, to me, it's amazing that other teams, that's primarily his MO. First ball, fastball, strike to get ahead.
That's what he does.
That's just off the corner.
His command of the zone, all 4 quadrants during this run, which has been easily the most successful he's ever had in professional baseball, has been great.
And the count 3-1. Ryan Zimmerman on deck.
Last 10 starts, he's been as he was before. Opponent's hitting just 191.
And that is fouled back. So a full count.
Worth is another base stealer. This team has swiped 67. They've been caught only 19 times. Because they don't have big power on the team, they look to try to run you out of the ballpark.
Little soft comebacker. And that's out number 2. So here's Zimmerman. 9 hitting at 244. A couple of homers. He's driven in 10. He is 1 for 11 in the series. And that's just off the plate.
Zimmerman is so far away from the plate that if you do get it exactly on the corner, you're in pretty good shape. If you bring it in a touch, he gets it to right field.
Can not check it up. And the count 1-1. Nats will finish the series, board their charter, and head on out to Anaheim, while our Sox will have tomorrow off. And then tomorrow evening we will leave for Denver. That's a pretty good pitch. Didn't get it.
He worked them away with the first 2. Wanted to go up and in with that. AJ pulls it back, but to no avail.
And another little soft comebacker. And that didn't take long. 1, 2, 3 after a half inning of play. It's the Nationals nothing and our Sox coming to bat.
BMW dealers, BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Here's how Ozzy's going to line them up today with Pierre, Vizquel, and Quinton at the top. That's Konerko, Dunn, Rios, Pierzynski, along with Tien and Beckham rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Livan Hernandez. Hairston, Bernardina, and Worth in the outfield with Zimmerman, Cora, Espinoza, and Morse in the infield. Wilson Ramos behind the plate. And the venerable Livan Hernandez, who has won 170 games and lost 171.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours as there's strike 1 to Pierre. Juan comes in at 248, a homer. He's driven in 16.
And before one thinks about bunting, there's a lot of pitchers that you can bunt on easily. Livan might be as good an athlete as there is in baseball off that mound.
As we talked about in the first game, I'm still anxious to see somebody try out Zimmerman in third, since he had that stomach surgery.
He's had some throwing problems, inconsistencies.
And that is chop foul, so the count 1-2. Sox come in hitting at .255 as a club with a 3.92 ERA. Sox 19-19 here at home, 19-21 on the road.
Hernandez started his career with the Florida Marlins. He was there for parts of 3 seasons before going to San Francisco, Washington, Arizona, Minnesota, Colorado, the Mets, and Washington.
That ball hit out there into the gap. Nobody's going to get it, so he'll make the turn, and he will start us off with his 6th two-bagger.
Washington was playing very shallow, as you would expect. That was a curveball that just hung up there and said, "Hit me." And Juan was able to hit it in the gap. One thing that will be an advantage today is the Sox, in limited action, have hit Livan Hernandez. He comes in with almost a 7-point ERA against them.
Fakes the bunt, takes the ball. Does Omar. Omar 12 for 25 lifetime with a homer off Livan. Livan's 36 years old, 6'2", 245 pounds, and he was born in Havana. Way off balance there.
Understand you liked his brother and thought he could pitch a little bit. El Duque.
El Duque, I'll tell you what, he was awesome. You're talking about some stones. He had some stones. As that's not going to get it done. That's what happens when you keep guys off balance. They're trying to accomplish something. In this case, Omar trying to get it to the right side, off balance. Just puts a bat on it to the left side. Yeah, El Duque was, I'll never forget that game in Boston. Bases loaded, nobody out in the playoffs.
That was one of the turning points, wasn't it?
Oh, sure. That was, you know, there are always defining games, defining points, turning points. And I'm not doing the game. I'm sitting at home watching it with my wife, my beautiful wife, Eris, and I'm saying, don't bring him in, Ozzie. Don't bring him in. And Ozzie brought him in. He got the first 2, and then he had Johnny Damon 3-2, 2 out, and I told Eris, I said, he throws him a curveball in the dirt here. He gone. And sure enough, here it comes.
Real slow, I'm sure.
Yeah. But that was one of the defining moments of our World Series run in 2005.
Well, as good as Livan Hernandez's stuff has been early, he never had as good a stuff as his older brother.
No.
His older brother's stuff was exceptional.
Yeah, he had Nintendo stuff there when he first came up, especially in the playoff. And that pitch going away to Quentin. Quentin hitting at .253, 17 homers, 49 driven in.
There's a big gap in right center field. Bernardina, who does cover a lot of ground, but just learning how to play center. Talking with Mike Rizzo, the general manager, he wasn't sure if Bernardina could handle that position. He knew he had the speed. Now he's taking better routes to the ball.
Just ask Adam Dunn.
Yeah, that catch in the first game of the series robbed Adam of a 2-run homer. There's a look at Mike Rizzo, who's done just a phenomenal job with this team. They're sitting there in 3rd place. They're 8.5 games in back of a red-hot Philadelphia bunch. They're playing terrific baseball.
They'll have won 12 out of the last 14. As there's ball 4. And that'll bring up Paulie.
So far, Hairston is playing very shallow in left field, which is somewhat surprising. Bernardina playing Paul as a pull hitter. Another gap in right center field.
Well, here's our captain, our MVP. Hitting at .325, 21 homers, 59 driven in. 2 for 7 lifetime off Livan. Outfield, about equidistant, swung around to the left. And he looks at ball 1.
When you see Livan's fastball, which is 84-85 and realize that Justin Verlander has a changeup at 90, you can understand how you'd have to wait back to hit this guy.
And that is much easier said than done.
It's true. That's why he's won 170 games.
That's it.
And never been on the disabled list in this his 14th year in professional baseball.
Well, that's one reason that Levon keeps getting contracts, because of the fact he's an innings guy. And in today's game, you have to have, unless you're going to carry a 13-man bullpen, that's just pitching staff. With 8 guys out there in that bullpen, you got to have an innings guy, and that's what he gives them.
Well, he's been 200 any number of times, including last year for the Nationals, 211 and 2/3. It's a lot of innings. The more innings that he pitches, the less you have to go to the bullpen. Now, this Washington team wasn't and hasn't been in contention. This year it's a good team, but odds are overwhelming they won't be there at the end. But he's still a guy you'd love to have on your staff as a number 5.
Slow curveball, drops it over.
That was 63 miles an hour.
Takes a lot of courage to get below the hitting speed. It's a major league hitter.
But that's way below the hitting speed.
Checks it up. Little ground ball right side, and that's what I mean. You're going to get out there, and it's just tough to stay back. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Adam Dunn. You know, all my years in this game, I've only heard of 2 pitchers who would use that as part of their arsenal. In all my years in this game, only 2.
I know one of them.
Yeah, Bulldog.
One of them's going to Hall of Fame.
Yeah, and the other's already in it.
That's
Gaylord Perry.
Greg Maddux and Gaylord Perry.
Right. Those are the only 2 guys I've ever talked to that use getting below the hitting zone as part of their arsenal. That was plan C. So Dunn hitting at 176, 7 homers, and 29 driven in.
Gaylord had as good a spitter as I've ever seen, and when he was asked if he put a foreign substance on the ball, he said absolutely not. It's made right here in the good US of A.
And the ball gets away, but not far enough. And talking about Bernardina being a center fielder, this is what he did to Adam Dunn on Friday.
He set up real well. He went back, didn't get caught under the padding, and went up and over the wall to rob him. Had him of a 2-run homer.
And that won him a ball game.
That never goes to 14 if that one's out of the park.
Right. So 2-0. With Espinosa playing short right field. And there's a strike. Just does catch the inside corner.
It is kind of surprising that Alex Cora is not behind the bag or maybe on the first base side of second. He's playing an up the middle shortstop, but on the third base side of second.
And that one catches the outside corner.
See where Ramos wants it? That one catches the outside part of the outside corner.
So 2-2. Now let's see if he comes in hard high. And that ball is yanked foul. Dunn is 6 for 25 lifetime off Levon with a couple of homers. Got him with a hard high one on the inside corner, and that'll retire the side. After 1, no score. It'll be Nix, Morse, and Espinosa to face Philip Humber. Lance hitting at 282, 11 homers, 29 driven in. Takes first pitch, fastball upstairs.
Nix is right on the plate. He's very strong. He's had a decent run at it this year.
Yes, he has. He is a guy with a lot of talent, and in the past his approach has not been that consistent. Now it seems to be falling into a little pattern. He's 30 years old. He should have somewhat of a consistent thought process as there's a curveball strike.
He's been with enough teams now. He was in Texas when Rudy Jaramillo was there.
Well, everybody sees his talent. That's why he keeps going to other teams.
Went to Milwaukee. Went to Cincinnati.
Curveball. He gone.
And now he went to the bench.
Yeah, when you're that close to the plate, left-handed hitter, especially against right-handed pitcher with a good curveball, you're going to swing at a lot of bad, low-breaking balls. That'll bring up the first baseman, Michael Morse, former White Sox farmhand. Morse hitting at 304, 14 homers and 45, tied for the team lead in RBIs with the guy on deck, Danny Espinosa.
He's shown us in this series that he has some big power.
Knocked down, picked up, and throws him out. Yeah, he hit a line drive into the ivy out there in dead away center field. So 2 out. That pitch is outside. Running one to count.
Espinosa just 24 years old, and he's got a world of talent.
Yeah, this team has got some guys with a lot of talent. I mean,
and some guys coming with a lot of talent. The farm system, pretty good.
Well, we talked about John McDonough the other day and the job he's done with the Blackhawks in his short time there. A couple of years just turned them around to a Stanley Cup winner. And that's what Mike Rizzo has done with this organization. It's almost unbelievable the job he's done getting this club into a situation here June 26th. They're one game over 500. And that's just off the plate.
Well, Mike came from a scouting background, was the scouting director with the Diamondbacks, did an exceptional job there, came over as the assistant GM to Jim Bowden. When he stepped down, he got the job. And the interesting thing, when I talked with Mike, he said, look, we use sabermetrics like everybody else. But when it comes time to make a decision, I want to use and will take the scout's eyes over the computer every time.
No question about it. And there's a good formula for that. We'll get back at ball. Somebody's got to come in this Alex. He turns it into a can of corn. So after an inning and a half, nada. The Chevy Youth Baseball League of the game, and today we want to recognize Bill Jacobs Chevrolet Plainfield for their support of the Plainfield Athletic Club. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are supporting leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. First pitch, strike to Rios. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball.
Alex has really started to heat it up lately.
He is 5 for 10 in this series, comes in hitting at .227, 6 homers and 20 driven in. And that's chopped foul.
Levon is trying to stay away with everything because Alex has been pulling everything. That's what he's been doing during the 7-game hitting streak. There haven't been a whole lot of cheapies in there. He's rushed a few.
Levon out there just like he's playing catch with nobody at the plate. You're telling him what to do, and he's doing it. Took something off that curveball, and a full count.
Tantalizingly slow. He's got one that actually slower than that.
There it was. If you're watching him down in the bullpen throw exactly what he's throwing up there at the home plate right now, you're going to say to myself, my goodness, this guy's going to get murdered.
If you saw him in one of the beer leagues they have without a uniform on, you'd probably never sign him.
Fastball on the outside corner. Alex did not like that call. So with one out, let's check out our picks to click this afternoon. Tim and Joe, our director and crew, went with Pierre. Stone Pony's going with Adam Dunn and Phyllis and Tom Leonakis, along with Deb Leonakis and Nick Strafford. All the great folks at the Roseland Garden Center down in South Bend, Indiana. We're going to go with Mark Teahen. Here's AJ. Hitting at .296, 3 homers. He's driven in 25. Takes first pitch strike. Turns that one over like a screwball and misses low and away. But getting back to what Rizzo was talking about, when it comes down to the final decision, they're going to use the eyes of the scouts. And in baseball, as in life, the mouth lies, eyes don't.
Especially older scouts who've been around, who have seen every type of swing, every type of arm motion for every pitcher. You just have to trust them. It comes down to trusting your scouts.
And there's a base hit right back through the middle. So the 1-out single. Well, I know one thing. Somebody's got to program the computer. That's who I want to talk to. Some of them are good and some of them have no clue. So here's Teahen. Mark 1 for 3 in this series, and that was a big one. That was a pinch hit 3-run homer in the bottom of the ninth with 2 out to tie the game on Friday. And that's high into left field. Jerry Harrison will make the play for out number 2.
Ball got away coming back in the infield, but Livan Hernandez was exactly in line. Now once you deliver the baseball as the pitcher, you got a pretty good idea of where the throw is coming, and you have to have responsibility to get in the way of that just in case it gets away. Livan that time was ranging towards second. The ball got away. No advancement on the part of AJ.
So here's Gordon. Hitting at .228, 6 homers. He's driven in 21. And the count 2-0. And a reminder, Bacardi at the Park, right across the street from beautiful US Cellular Field on 35th Street. That's the White Sox new restaurant and bar, and it's open, offering a full menu from Gibson's Restaurant Group. Also, they have over 70 flat screen high definition TVs right across the street from beautiful US Cellular Field. Open every day of home game at 11 o'clock.
That was the cutter from Hernandez, keeping everything away from Beckham.
And that's popped up. Morse. Watch out. As Zimmerman ran over Hernandez. That's keeping your eye on the ball, Ryan. Meanwhile, we'll go to the third scoreless. Order for the Nats. Ramos, Hairston, and Cora face Philip Humber. Beautiful day here in the beautiful city. There's the strike.
Ramos, a very talented young catcher out of the Minnesota organization, came over in the Matt Capps deal.
And that's just off the corner. As I mentioned earlier, off day tomorrow, and then we head off tomorrow evening for Denver. A 3-game set with the Rockies as that's softly hit into left center field. So 1 out. In that series, we're going to run Floyd, Burley. In the first 2 games out there, they're going to run Jason Hamill and Ubaldo Jimenez.
The break we get is not seeing Chacin, because he's going to pitch in a makeup game tomorrow at Wrigley Field against the Cubs.
So here's Hairston. He's been swinging a hot bat. In fact, in the first game, he was 2 for 2 before he was ejected. Takes first pitch strike. Ate him up. Plant, peg. Yes, nice play.
What Humber has done a few times, which I like to see, is a good solid throw to first base. I don't like to see lollipops because many times they go astray. Plant your foot, throw it like you would to the catcher, and good things usually happen.
What I like to see in that particular thing, besides what you just mentioned, which is so true, you got some guys that just can't throw from a flat surface over there.
It's like they're shot putting.
Yeah, exactly. I like to see him first ball fastball and then bust him inside with another fastball.
Well, they know that he has the hammer waiting for him. His curveball is among the best in the league and has been this year. But the less a hitter sees it, the more effective it's going to be when you have to wipe him out in a key situation. It's the brothers Cora. On the bench coach. One still playing.
And the count 3-0 to Alex.
I go back with Alex to a 17 pitch at bat he had against Matt Clement in Dodger Stadium. On the 17th pitch, after Clement had pounded him down and in for 8 of those pitches, he hit it out of the park.
He's got something like 35 career home runs.
Sure, he has more home runs than 17 pitch at bats. That's a good trick.
Oh, nice play. Good feed. And that is 9 up, 9 down for Humber.
by Lincoln Tuesday night in Colorado. It's on WCIU 7:30 Wednesday night in Colorado. CSN at 7:30 and Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. on CSN. All against the Rockies. Lincoln upcoming schedule.
First pitch, strike to one. Pierre leading off here in the bottom of the third inning. One double to lead off our bottom of the first. And the count 0-2. Doubled, and we couldn't do anything with it. Turns that one over. And the count 1-2. Fouls it out of play. And a reminder, join the White Sox and on Facebook and Twitter. Check us out for the latest videos, ticket offers, contests, interviews, deals, and much, much more. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. White Sox, we're up to the minute news and more. And that's high. 2-2. Jams him, pops him up. Alex. One out. So here's Omar. Omar popped up to left field. First pitch strike. That one at 84.
Got to stay hydrated at the ballpark. That kind of a day.
And another pitch out there. Punch foul by Vizquel.
There you go.
Comes in and yanks it foul. And if you're just tuning in to not hear, Davey Johnson has been named the new skipper of the Nationals. As that pitch misses, and the count 1-2.
Vaughn will throw that fastball at the left-hander's hip, move it back over the plate. That's how we got Adam Dunn.
That's down the right field line and foul. Just foul. Dadgummit. Looked like that one might stay fair.
Taking it for two bases, and if you're going to play him that far off the line, that real slow breaking ball, probably going to be hit and pulled down the line.
Davey Johnson. Davey and I go back a long way. A long way. Davey, a good manager and a really competitive player when he was in uniform with Baltimore and Atlanta. Pokes that one in the left field for a base hit. So the one out single.
Davey Johnson's got 3 World Series rings as a player and 1 as a manager. Inside out swing. Not far enough to get to Hairston. Omar's aboard.
Davey and I played a lot of golf together in what we used to have, the baseball players tournaments. They were great. And he was very competitive on the golf course. He was a good player.
And I believe hit 43 home runs one year.
Yep. Tied the record with 42 as the second baseman, Rogers Hornsby. Hit one as a pinch hitter. Yeah, John Waldron reminds us, Aaron and Darrell Evans, Davey Johnson all hit 40. first team to do that.
Unlike the new ballpark, the old ballpark was a place
Launching
that you should pay to hit in.
That's right.
The new ballpark is very much a pitcher's park.
That ball hit hard into center field by Quentin. Bernardina back, and it's over his head. Dadgummit, it bounced over the fence. That's going to cost us a run at this point, as Vizquel will just move into third.
That one hit right over the head of Bernardina, and that time he didn't run to the spot. He kept on backpedaling, and at the last instant he couldn't catch it. This ball away from Carlos. He hits it awfully hard. Now watch Bernardina. The ball hit right back over your head, the most difficult to judge if you're a center fielder. Bernardina just learning the position. Doesn't do this one real well.
So here's Paulie. He grounded out on a check swing. Check swing grounded to first base. Nice block by Ramos. Paulie sitting on 21 homers and 59 RBIs.
The combined catching core of these Nationals have been unbelievable in throwing out base runners. They've had 27 bases stolen against them. They've thrown out would-be base stealers 22 times.
That slow curveball. And the count 2-0.
You'd be a bit surprised if he gave Paulie anything too good to hit here.
Well, you didn't hear me say catbird seat, did you? He's not in the catbird seat with Levon Hernandez out there.
Infield back all the way around against our #1 run producer, Paul Konerko.
There's a real slow curveball of 62.
He took a little something off the slow curveball and threw it slower. Well, he tries to wait back. You can see him bring the hands back and just can't wait back long enough.
He's trying to get him, if he gets the strike on this one, to the point that he can throw him an inside fastball just underneath his hands. And there's a base hit into right field. Nice piece of hitting right there, as they're going to have to hold Quentin on a nice peg by Jason Worth. But the Sox take a 1-0 lead on the 60th RBI by Konerko.
Somewhat amazingly, he went to the fastball, and that ball's off the plate. And we've been talking about run producers sometimes going out 2-3 inches off the plate. There's a lot of runs to be had by making contact there and not conceding the fact that you're not going to get thrown a strike. And Paulie just drove home the first.
That's just a good piece of hitting. So here's Adam. Called out on a 3-2 inside fastball. Can't get that one. Come on, big man. Pick that runner up. Yes, he did.
Field to Mike Estabrook, and that's exactly what he said.
So the count 0-2.
Tried to heat him upstairs with an 86-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's reaching back and getting some from him.
That's what he's got. That's it.
Every inch of it. Good take, 2-2.
Tried to do the same thing he did last time, only the ball didn't tail back over the plate.
So 2 down.
High fastball, threw it right by him.
You know, you're talking about Paulie as we take another look at it. Height-wise, just underneath his hands, but that was out over the plate a little bit. As here's Alex. He struck out, called out his first trip, but that's just good hitting from a guy who knows he's not going to get a strike in that situation.
Exactly right.
Ted Williams used to really get exasperated with one of the better hitters we've seen in the last 50 years, and that was Wade Boggs. And Ted used to sit up there and watch him and absolutely go nuts when he would take those walks with a man on third, because he knew that he could hit the ball and drive that man in, but Boggs would take the walk. And the funny thing about it was Ted did the same thing when he played. He would take his walks. As he jams and pops him up. But we get one on Paul Konerko's RBI single, his 60th ribby of the year, and lead it 1-0. Sox will come into any Chicagoland Hooters location when the Sox are on the road to catch the games on their flat screen HD TVs and enjoy great Miller beer features.
Humber has his first lead of the day, and he goes back to the top with Bernardina.
He got jammed, hit a little looper. It's a T in the third. Fouls that one off, and the count 0-1. Humber, if in case you're just tuning in, has retired everybody he's seen. And the count 0-2.
Five ground balls. And Roger Bernardina recently has been heating it up. That hit him. I think AJ is saying that he leaned into it instead of away from it. Marty Foster just pointed to first base. Now they're going to have another conference.
Well, they had one earlier in the game one, and it was good to see. They wanted to get it right, and crew chief Jeff Nelson overruled Mike Estabrook, who was the first base umpire, on a supposedly tag of Konerko.
And this one goes the Nationals' way. Watch it again. I think he was saying that Ozzie was saying to hit off the bat, hit off the knob of the bat, not his hand.
Well, you could hear it from up here. It hit the bat. There's no question about it. But it hit his hand first.
Now I got to worry about a guy that's been successful 11 out of 12 times. And yesterday, Ramon Castro threw him out at second on a pitch out. Replay showed he actually was in.
He's got a pretty good lead. Run on 5 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, no hits, no errors for their guys. And there's a strike. Worth hit a little soft comebacker to Umber.
Worth is grounded into 6 double plays, and the longer they wait to run with Bernardina, more the double play comes into play. You don't usually run 0-1 because it's too easy to call a pitch up.
Outfield straight up, spread out. And he takes strike 2.
By and large, all of the Sox pitchers have stayed away from Worth in this series. And they've gotten him.
He's been scuffling. He's really been scuffling. He's hitting 161 for his last 19 games. He gone.
It's a fastball on the outside part of the outside corner. He just filled up AJ's glove, who eased it back a little bit. Good pitch, good spot.
And here's Zimmerman. He also hit an even softer comebacker to Umber. So Umber now with 2 strikeouts. Kansas City, top of the 4th inning at Kauffman Stadium, leading the Cubs 4-1. As there's a strike. Bottom of the 4th in Milwaukee, 1-0 Minnesota.
Philip doing a pretty good job of throwing over to first just enough, varying his times from the set position, which makes it difficult on a base stealer.
Pitch out, nothing on.
See if Joey might want back-to-back pitch outs. Humber's got very good control. And Bernardino figures to be running here.
Very seldom see that today.
Nope.
Years past, you saw it was quite often. When you had guys with good control, you'd see back-to-backs. There you go. And that pitch is fouled out of play. In fact, I told you that. I saw 3 in a row. We were playing Baltimore in Cleveland. Don Buford was the first base. Alvin Dark called 3 in a row. He didn't go any of those. Alvin had some stones, just to tell you. Curveball on the way. Alvin is also the only guy I've ever seen have the pitcher take 3 and 2.
I was probably one of those guys that the 3 and 2 take would have served me better.
Dean Chance and
that would have been okay.
Hank Gary and guys like that. It was a good call because the guy wasn't going to hit it. And he may have swung at a bad pitch. Well, the guy threw it right down the middle.
That's it.
He gone. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
Well, Phillip wants to wear him out a bit, because odds are again he will be running on this pitch. Last lead he had was a big lead.
Make no mistake about it. It does take his toll. And he's got a big lead. One of the bigger leads you're going to see. As there's a chopper to Hopper and rack him up. So throwing over there indeed got the job done. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is a 1-0 good guy lead. And once again, Phil Humber pitching well.
He's faced the minimum. The double play certainly helped him out, but throwing strike 1 has probably been his best friend. And right now he holds a 1-0 lead.
So here's AJ. He singles sharply. That's a nice backhand to Peg. And they get him. Beautiful play by Alex Cora. Going hard to his right.
Didn't think he had quite enough arm these days to get it across that far and throw him out. But he's well on the outfield grass, plants as quickly as he can, and gets it over there, gets him by a half a step.
So here's Tien. Mark went out to left field. Takes a strike, tailing away. Whew. That ball hit hard. So there's the base hit for Mark. Phyllis and Tom and Deb. Leonakis picked a click.
That one sails on the outside corner. It's up in the zone. And Tien drives into left center field.
And here's Beckham. He popped up to Mike Morse at first. And a reminder, join the Chi Sox mobile group today by texting Paul to 244-769 for a chance to win an autograph Paul Konerko bat and 2 Gold Coast tickets, club tickets, to the game on July 8th. Text Paul to Chi Sox 244-769.
Arizona's come back with a 2 spot to take the lead against Detroit in the top of the 7th, 2-1.
Go D-backs, go.
They're half a game back to San Francisco in the West.
I'll tell you what, those guys are playing all 27 outs. By that we're talking about they're playing hard each and every out.
Has played very well this year.
Could have busted a lot of guys if you said it. June 26th, it'd be a half game out. There's the strike. And the count 0-2. And it's high and wide. Get down, get down. It won't. So Mark gets back in. And that's out number 2, and here comes Pierre, who's 1 for 2. Got the longtime teammates there, and 2 of the greatest guys you're ever going to have on the ball club. Wow. They're 2 of my all-timers right there.
Hollywood, 60 runs batted in. We're only playing our 79th game of the year.
Well, you take those 2 guys, throw Robin Ventura's in there, Catfish Hunter's in there. They don't come along like that very often. Yeah. Turns and burns. Meanwhile, just a hard strike. 1-1 to count. 1 on 6 hits for us. No runs on no hits for them here in the bottom of the 4th. There's a shot base hit. So Mark now will pull up at second, as Worth has a good arm, not great, good arm, and accurate.
On with his second hit of the day, gets a fastball out over the plate. So an opportunity for Omar with 2 outs to drive in a run, but Harrison very shallow in left field.
Omar 1 for 2 with the run scored. Takes first pitch, tailing away strike.
This is pretty much a typical Livan Hernandez game. He's going to give up a lot of hits, to strike out a few people, walk very few, and depend on his team to score him some runs, because he's not going to throw too many shutouts anymore.
Well, he's going to give up more hits than innings pitched. Not going to walk many, as you say. But the thing about it is, he just don't score that much, because evidenced by that 3.97 ERA.
And it was very good last year when he went 10-12. And an ERA in the mid-3s and pitched 211 2/3 innings.
Well, he's the poster child for the word pitcher. Oh, 0-2 the count. When you got stuff like Livan Hernandez, you're not afraid of anything.
This is 14th year in the major leagues.
His brother wasn't afraid of anything, and he's the same way. Just got a piece of it. Once again, reminder, off day tomorrow. And tomorrow night we leave to go out to Denver for that 3-game set, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. On Tuesday, Gavin Floyd against Jason Hamill, and that game will be over WCIU or WGN Sports on the U. On Wednesday, Mark Burley against Ubaldo Jimenez. And that game on Comcast Sportsnet. And the final game will be also on Comcast Sportsnet. And he has him off balance again. That's what we talk about in hitting so much. The least used word in hitting is balance. That's the least used word today in that vernacular is balance. Yet it's one of the most used words for pitching, keeping the hitter off balance. Now, something's wrong with that picture. You kept guys off balance, changing speeds on your curve.
Well, you had to. I mean, my stuff was similar to Livan's, threw a little bit harder. The guns were not quite as hot as they are today. Used a different type of gun, but still didn't have enough of a fastball to sit back and throw fastballs to people, because setting them up for the curveball, I'd never have a chance. The ball would be in the outfield all the time.
As he gets him off balance again. So we stranded a pair. We've left 7 aboard. He does that, but we lead at 1-0. Sports Game Zone for up-to-the-minute stats and information. Log on to 3w.wgntv.com and enter the Game Zone, brought to you by Connie's Pizza. Now, you can park at Connie's on Archer Avenue and take their free shuttle to each game. So call 312-CONNIES for more information. That's 312-CONNIES. Good pizza. Top of the 5th inning. It'll be Nix, Morse, and Espinoza to face Philip Humber. 1 run on 7 hits for us. No runs on no hits for them. Changed it up right there. Didn't start him off with a first ball fastball strike. And the count 1-1.
Normally off-speed pitches are not Lance Nix's friend. It depends on you missing with a fastball a couple times a game. Then he hits pretty well.
Another breaking ball. That was a decent pitch to hit right there underneath it. Well, it's like we talked about. First rule in hitting is you got to cover the fastball, and that's what Lance does. You don't have to be, for you youngsters out there, you don't have to be a guy who hits the curveball, a guy who hits the slider, a good breaking ball hitter, but you got to cover the fastball.
You're going to hit the hanging breaking balls just
exactly
because they're there for you.
He gone.
Another curveball, another strikeout.
Got him twice, struck him out twice on curveballs. But the one thing about it is he's going to be in there for the next at bat. He's going to be in there tomorrow.
Swinging the same way.
That's it.
If he runs into one, it goes a long way.
Michael Morse going through his little routine at the plate, trying to create a little hang time right there with that move. And he's been doing a good job of it. Comes in at 304, 14 homers, 45 knocked in. And in his last 150 at bats, he's hitting 346. That's in 44 games, and he's also knocked in 35 in those 44 games. So that little move he's using is working. Hit foul. It will.
Sounded like you broke his bat.
He did. Matt Abatacola. This is like golf. They don't put pictures on scorecards. If they did, we'd all be in trouble. But the one thing about, you get a lot of hitters who they're inhibited. They don't want to do anything out of the norm. But his little routine is definitely out of the norm. Meanwhile, he's killing the ball. Goes down and gets that curveball. Hits it into center field.
Well, Morse is an example of how the scouts can work for you, because Seattle came to Mike Rizzo and they wanted Ryan Langerhans because he could hit left-handed, he could play defense, he could play a couple different positions, and they looked around at who they had, and the one thing, the glaring need they had, was a guy who could hit the ball out of the park occasionally. Well, they're finding out that Morse can hit the ball out of the park more than occasionally.
Here's Espinoza. He popped up to Alex in center field. Scouts are the heart and soul of the game. They always have been, and they always will be. Did not check it up, and the count 1-1. And they have such a tougher job today than they did 30 years ago, or 40 years ago, or 50 years ago. They have such a tougher job. Mainly because if you don't, I'll tell you, if you're an organization and you don't have good amateur or free agent scouts, amateur scouts, you're not going to be successful unless you've got Yankee money.
Unless you have, Yankee money to buy your guys from various places. But you also have to have major league scouts that are terrific, because you're going to make some deals. I mean, you and I both really like Jim Fregosi. What a job he's done with John Schuerholz and now Frank Wren down in Atlanta. But they don't make a deal without him.
They that's important. But the most important thing among the two categories are your amateur scouts. You've got to have good ones. Those are the guys who get out there and grind and dig and drive all day just to see a guy pitch 2 or 3 innings or get 4 at bats or whatever it may be. Payoff pitch. And he walks him. That's the first walk issued by Umber, only the second base runner. The first was, they said, hit by a pitch, which he wasn't.
Those amateur scouts will get you those picks between 8 and 15.
That's the whole key.
That most people take a look at and say, okay, well, look, anybody can identify the first pick in the draft, second pick in the draft, third pick in the draft. Those guys are up there. This year was a fairly deep draft, but no of the real big guys. No Strasburgs, no Harpers. But 8 to 15 is where the scouts will make their bones. Those are the guys that you find inhabit the major leagues a lot.
Especially pitching in those 8 to 15 rounds. Those are the guys I love because those are the guys that had to compete. Those first rounders hadn't had to compete too much in their lives. They just blew everybody away at the amateur level in high school and college.
Well, Mike Rizzo sent his dad down to Kentucky to take a look at a sinker baller who didn't have a big fastball in the 8th round. They got Brandon Webb. Worked out pretty well for the Diamondbacks.
There he goes. And that's chopped foul. Off the bat of Ramos. Yeah, those give me those street fighters. I don't want the country gentlemen farmers. That's why I like parks like it. Fenway Park. And this park here that we have at Wrigley Field. You better have some competitors out on that mound 60 feet 6 inches away.
The walks in a ballpark that gives up a lot of home runs kill you. When you don't have a good defense in a park where you can hit the ball out of the park, that kills you. You give 4 outs, you're going to get hurt in an inning. As we've seen time and time again, but pitching like Phil Umber's been pitching, he's been something.
2-2. I'll never forget Tom Seaver when he was with us. He had never been to Fenway Park. And I got off the bus with him. The first game he was in a White Sox uniform, and I watched him. He never looked out as we were going from the bus to the clubhouse. Okay. Now we go in the clubhouse and I'm watching because I wanted to see his reaction the first time he saw the green monster. So now he gets ready to come out and he's dressed. As here's the 2-2 pitch. There he goes. And that's fouled away. So I go down through the runway. I'm standing right at the top of the dugout when you walk up the stairs there. He comes walking down. He looks at the green monster for about 4 or 5 seconds. And I'm watching him. And he goes, I can use that. I can use that to my advantage.
Just throw it inside. Throw it inside off the plate and then let him crush the ball to center field.
And on the other side of the page, I've seen young pitchers walking to Fenway Park, see the green monster, and their eyes got bigger than golf balls.
Yeah, because it looks like it's right behind your back, and that's a balk.
Yep. He lost his balance.
Sometimes your spikes get caught as you go to deliver the ball.
First balk for Phillip.
And we'll take another look at it. Watch the front spike. Right there it catches. And when it does that, the best thing about what he did was not release the baseball, because you might give up 2 bases if you throw one really wild that rattles around for a while.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Yeah, it's got a piece of that curve. Phillip has one of the harder, tighter curveballs in the American League. Once again, the 2-2. That's high. Jerry Hairston on deck. Ramos just 23 years old. And the payoff pitch. And that's just foul. Thank you very much.
Ramos has done a terrific job. And the fact that he's this young, but quite obviously is going to be their catcher of the future. Really relegated Pudge Rodriguez, a Hall of Famer in the first ballot, to the tutor role. And at first, if you've been an everyday catcher, that's a tough thing to accept. But in talking with John McLaren, who's managing his last game today for Washington, he said that Pudge has done a great job of understanding where Ramos is, where he is. He says he's worked really well with him.
And that is popped up. Beckham. He's there. Halfway home. Good guys lead at 1-0. $5 footlongs from Subway. Well, just be the 500th texter to text Subway to 97999. So go to WGNTV.com for complete information and rules. Bottom of the 5th inning. Quentin will lead it off. He has walked and he has doubled. Picked up his 22nd two-bagger with a line shot over the head of Roger Bernardino. Takes it right there. Paulie on deck and Dunn in the hole. Slow curveball.
That's the slowest yet. That was 61. I want to see one in the 50s before this is over.
Well, yours was 63.
No, the good one was 67.
The slow one was 63.
The little looper to the left-handers to start them off, that was a 63.
And that is just foul.
Zimmerman was pretty much standing on the line, so it's going to be very tough to get between him and the bag and keep the ball fair.
And once again, the 0-2. Tries to dot it, missed it, and it's 1-2. Well, we have a moment when we sound a big White Sox hello. How you doing? Dave Fairman, Matt McEntee, our guy Paul, who runs the grill room out at the Golf Club Scottsdale, watching in this afternoon. A gorgeous place, a beautiful place, and a great golf course.
I had a chance to talk with Jermaine Dye when we were in Arizona. He was looking very happy, very healthy. He plays out there, says he loves it.
There's that slow curveball again.
That was 60. He's getting down there.
He's getting
Next
close.
one got a chance to be 59.
JD can hit the golf ball.
Yes.
Hard.
Told me he was a 5 from the back tees.
That doesn't surprise me one bit. I just watched him on the range when I was out there one day, and I mean, he was hitting some rockets.
I'd need 5 aside for sure. And we'll play him up.
Jermaine, don't listen to a thing he says. Not one word. Levi wanted that pitch.
Pretty much he's staying away with everything, and he's still looking in at Marty Foster. And Marty is not exactly returning his stare. He was dusting off the plate. That ball was well outside. That wasn't even a debatable pitch. Well, Carlos is not particularly happy with that call.
So down goes Quentin. 1 out.
That's right at the top. Could have gone either way. Unfortunately, it went Levan's way.
So here's Paulie. Paulie 1 for 2 with that RBI single in the 3rd inning, picking up RBI number 60. Takes first pitch strike. And if you missed that back in the 3rd inning, this is good, just a good piece of hitting there.
He knew that Hernandez was not going to come to him in the zone. He just reached out and poked it into right field.
Out and around that one. Cora's got plenty of time. And that's out number 2.
Only now 2nd in the league in runs batted in behind Adrian Gonzalez. He's just about everywhere in almost every offensive category.
Well, Gonzalez has had a ton of protection behind him.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, he's in the middle of a stacked lineup.
Not to take anything away from him, because he's really what you can consider to be a great hitter.
There's no 358.
Question. Yeah, I mean, he's a great hitter. But he has had, one of the reasons being, he's had a ton of protection. That's outside. And the count evens at 1. Adam is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. And boy, that helps a little bit. Takes it up and takes the curveball strike. And Sox fans, every White Sox Friday home game is United Flyaway Friday. Each Friday home game, one lucky fan will have the chance to win 2 free round-trip tickets to anywhere in the continental United States that United Airlines flies. United, proud to fly the Chicago White Sox. And we will be with Sparky, Mark Seipel, Mike Corrigan, all the crew tomorrow evening on our way to dinner.
Tried to heat him upstairs again. This time Adam was able to foul it off. That ball up and out of the strike zone.
And that one's upstairs at 86. And this will be the 97th pitch. thrown by Hernandez. And that is hard but foul. If there's one guy that you had to say, if you had a tournament going on, or who could throw the most pitches in a game, he would be right at the top.
He will throw a bundle. Because he's got to work you over to get.
I love watching guys like this. There's another one.
He's kept most of this at bat out of the strike zone. You would expect another slow breaking ball here.
Out and around it and full count. Alex on deck. So that is a 1-2-3 inning, and we'll go to the 6th. Sixth inning in a 1-0 ball game. Sox lead it. It'll be Hairston, Cora, then back to the top of the order with Roger Bernardino. Up to now, Philip Humber has only allowed 1 over the minimum. No runs, no hits for them. Jerry hit a little comebacker to Humber.
And really, the Nationals so far have not hit the ball particularly hard on anything put in play here in 5 innings.
There's only been 1 ball hit hard. Now 2. And you can cancel a post-game show. So remember, he has been hot. So.
Well, justifiably so. Philip Humber gets a nice hand from the crowd, taking a no-hitter into the 6th. Now, one thing pitchers have to be wary of, and that is, even though you're only in the 6th with the no-hitter, some of the air goes out of the balloon when you give up that first hit. And this is a rolling breaking ball. But you're in a 1-0 game. Philip has got to make very good pitches.
Well, that might be the factor that keeps the adrenaline flowing. Score bounced out 3-1. Tough hop, a good pick by Konerko. There he goes. And the hit and run was on. So 1 out. And tickets for White Sox home games are on sale right now. Tickets start at just $12 a seat. And the schedule is full of great matchups, promotional nights, and games featuring post-game fireworks. So purchase your tickets today, whitesox.com or 866-SOX-GAME. Here's Bernardina. Takes first pitch strike. He is looped out to Tian. And then back in the 4th inning. Leading off. The ball hit the knob of his bat. They said it hit him, and he was awarded first base. And the count 0-2. Milwaukee leading Minnesota 5-1. That game in the bottom of the 6th. Brew Crew, they're hot.
They're taking advantage of Carl Pavano. Iverson, the left-hander, going for Milwaukee.
I believe Milwaukee is trying for their 7th consecutive victory over Minnesota. That's low 1-2. Toronto shutting out the Cardinals 5-0. Bottom of the 6th in St. Louis. 5-2. Mets leading Texas down at Arlington. That game in the top of the 2nd. Ground ball. Beckham. 2 down.
Gordon has been so steady and sometimes spectacular at second base.
Well, it's just hard to imagine anybody playing a better second base than he has played.
Did 1 error.
I mean, you could tie him, but it's hard to imagine somebody beating him defensively, and that's a credit to him because he has really struggled offensively. But there are 2 sides to baseball. There's the offense and the defense, and he certainly knows how to separate them. When he gets this thing figured out, when he gets his routine or his thought process in order, he's going to be some kind of player. 1-0 the count to Worth, who has hit a little soft comebacker to Umber and struck out. And there's the strike to even the count at 1.
It was a straight change, one of the few that Phillip has thrown today. That's one of the reasons why it surprised Worth.
It's the first one he's thrown.
It's 84. It's right down the middle, and you can't possibly be looking for it.
Outfield straight up, spread out. Now, Phillip does have 7 wild pitches, but anytime you get a guy with a curveball like his or Gavin Floyd's, you're going to have some wild pitches.
Well, that's the wipeout pitch. I mean, that's where you're trying to throw it, to throw strike 3.
Off the end of the bat, Tian. And that'll do it. So they finally get a man to third. Only one all day. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. It is still 1-0 Sox.
By the Illinois Lottery, Mega Millions and Powerball. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot is worth $88 million, and Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is worth $76 million. There's a chance to bring home the bacon.
I know you're not going to play both. Which one are you going to play? You got to buy your ticket.
Oh no, I will be absolutely spending a great deal of money on both. So Jake and I can live in the same neighborhood.
Well, you know, you can go to hell for lying like you can for stealing. There's Jake Peavy, one of your heroes yesterday.
Was he terrific?
The ball hit high, deep, stretch. Hairston back. Looked like that wind knocked it down.
The wind did, and he almost lost it in the sun. At the last instant, he had to turn towards center field to get an angle on it. Normally, that ball's out of the ballpark. Because this is up and out over the plate. I think Alex thought it was leaving the park. Hairston thought it was going to be over his head, and then you see him turn away from it and still make the catch.
So here's AJ. He's 1 for 2. Single very sharply back through the middle his first at bat, then leading off the fourth. Hit a ball in the hole at shortstop between third and short. Alex Cora went way back on the grass, made a terrific play to get him at first. Watch out.
Vaughn's ready to deliver. Pitch number 103.
And Harold will make that play and make himself a new friend. Levon is certainly no Mark Burley out there. As he gets him, but not many are.
Yeah, well, Levon realizes that the longer he holds the baseball, nothing can happen to him.
The less chance they have to hit it.
That's exactly right. You just keep holding on, and somehow he was able to just throw a fastball by one of the league's toughest to strike out, A.J. Pierzynski.
So Tian, Mark is 1 for 2. Line drive single into left. Back in the fourth. And the count 2-0. And a reminder, Sox fans, come to U.S. Cellular Field and spend your holiday with us on Monday, July 4th at 6:10 p.m. It's Independence Day celebration and fireworks presented by Captain America. Tickets 866 Sox game or visit whitesox.com. And the count 3-0. Turn him loose.
No reason not to. You got Gordon in the on deck circle, and it's a lefty righty advantage for Mark Tian.
And that's ball 4. Second walk issued by Levon, and here comes Gordon, who has popped to first and gone out to right. 24,057 in attendance. First pitch strike. most of the time, if Levon walks somebody, it's because he wants to get to the next hitter. And the count 0-2.
I think he got that in common with some pretty good pitchers, including Greg Maddux, who would always know who was coming up, and he would sometimes pitch around two guys to get to the one guy he knew that he could get out.
Yeah, he told me. He said sometimes I'd go around two of them. Tom Seaver did that with us more than a few times when he was in a Sox uniform, when he didn't have that great fastball. People don't understand one time just how hard Seaver threw. He threw very hard.
I faced him there. Threw me a curveball and I got a base hit to left field, and I didn't get many. So I remember almost every one.
The 0-2. And that'll retire the side. He has 8 strikeouts. We have stranded 8 runners. Ryan Zimmerman will lead it off here in the top of the 7th inning. A run on 7 hits, no errors for our Sox. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for their Nats. 1-0 the count. Outfield around to the right. Cues that one foul. Zimmerman has bounced back to Umber and hit into a 6-4-3 double play. So the count 1-2.
Phillip got away with one there. That ball came back, had a good portion of the plate. One of the few good pitches Zimmerman has had to hit. And last year to this year, our pitchers have handled them well.
2 balls, 2 strikes. He gone. Four strikeouts for Umber.
Disappearing breaking ball. Might have been a straight change, but he was out in front of it. He's really struggled against us for a couple of years now.
So here's Nix. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of punch outs. Tigers leading the D-backs 4-2, hitting in the bottom of the 8th inning. Down ball. 2 down. Boy, that right side of our infield. Tough to beat.
And Umber is giving Ozzie and Don Cooper exactly what they needed today. Because the fewer outs they have to cover out of that pen, the better it's going to be.
Thank goodness for an off day tomorrow.
Well, you have the 14-inning affair where you emptied the bullpen. And yesterday, John Danks left in the 2nd inning. And Bruni, Peavy, and Sergio went the rest of the way and did a great job in a shutout. You just as soon not keep bringing these guys in. A good day to go the distance for Phillip.
1-1 to count to Morris. There's only been 2 balls hit hard. Well, Phillip. Morris lined out hard to center field back in the 5th, and then the base hit. The only hit for the Nats last inning, Hairston, line shot single in the center.
Third time through the order, and Umber has started to use the straight change more frequently.
And the count 3-1. And he walks him. Second walk issued by Umber. And that'll bring up Espinosa, who drew the other walk.
Fortunately, Morris has not one of their better base runners. 2 steals and 5 attempts. But Espinosa has some pretty big power from the left side, so got to be careful with him.
Better believe it, he's knocked in 45 runs. Get foul. It will.
Not by much, but enough. That looked like a first ball straight change.
That's exactly up out over the plate.
Yeah. And Espinosa drilled it plenty of distance, but fortunately he got out in front of it.
And that pitch low to even the count at 1.
Umber about ready to deliver pitch 101.
That ball hit deep. And it's a 2-1 Washington lead.
Another off-speed pitch out over the plate. And Espinosa, who just missed his 14th home run on the first pitch, hits his 14th home run. A little deeper in the count. He's driven in 47. And more importantly, Sox have relinquished the lead. Looks like another change. Didn't fool him on the first one.
Well, that's been a little hard-headed there.
Don't fool him on the first one. Probably not going to fool him on the second one.
There's strike one to Ramos. He's gone out to left and popped a second. Well, if you want to rank his pitches, the best pitch he has is curveball. The next best pitch he has is a fastball. His third best pitch is a changeup. And not to say his changeup is bad, it's just the third best pitch he has. So a full count. Ramos has seen a lot of pitches. He saw a lot in the first game, and he has seen a lot today.
Maybe Don Cooper might want to come out at the 107 pitch mark, because Phillip hasn't missed the strike zone by that wide a margin in a while.
Second walk of the inning, and here comes the hot hitting Hairston.
Ozzie is motioning, and that motion that he made, which looked like the quacking of a duck, means for AJ to go out, talk with Phil Humber, and spend some time out there so Chris Sale can get loosened up in a hurry.
So now Coop will take his turn. Two runs on just 2 hits for the Nationals. A run on 7 hits for our guys. We have stranded 8. They have stranded 2. But they have 2 runs and we only have 1. That was a single by Konerko back in the 3rd inning. So here we go. Here's Hairston. The last man that Humber will face. And he fouls it back. And that ball into the gap. Nobody's going to get that one. Got to cut it off, get it back in. So they'll hold him to the single, and Ramos to third. And that will be all for Humber. So Hairston picks up his second hit. And here comes Ozzie.
This ball out away. Humber did a terrific job today before finally running out of gas. And he'll leave with runners at the corners. 2 out, and we'll be back after these messages. Harris runners at the corners. It's still a 2-1 game. Washington on top, courtesy of Danny Espinosa, 2-run homer. And Ian Desmond is going to come out. He's going to pinch hit for Alex Cora. Desmond was their everyday shortstop. He's had a tough time in the series, but he's got great speed.
So here we go. 2-3-0 for them, 1-7-0 for us here in the top of the 7th inning. Desmond 2 for 10 in the series. And right here, AJ once again has got to be on his toes.
Chris does not have a wild pitch this year, and we'd like to keep it just that way.
Oh yeah, pulled a string on him, had him out in front, and the count 0-2.
Desmond last year hit .269 with 65 driven in 154 games, so this lack of production has been somewhat mystifying for the Nationals.
Stopped nicely by AJ. Detroit has taken complete command of that one. Having a big 8th inning. He gone. And that'll do it. But the 2-run homer by Danny Espinosa. 7th inning stretch. We trail it 2-1.
Games around the major lanes.
It's a 2-1 Washington lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Come on, guys. Livan Hernandez scattered 7 hits, walked 2, has 8 strikeouts in this game.
Ian Desmond stays in the game at shortstop. Juan Pierre has been one of the guys to figure out Hernandez. And at the 111 pitch mark, it's a bit surprising he's still in there. The bullpen is up and going, so he's probably on a very short leash.
Well, they were like we were. They played 14 innings the other night, too.
They did.
First pitch strike.
Tyler Clippard gave up A.J. Pierzynski's game-tying home run on an 0-2 fastball, loosening up in the bullpen.
And very quickly they count 0-2. Really, if you're just tuning in, haven't had that many chances. At Rhymes is Hairston. Foul ground, makes the catch for out number 1. We got a leadoff double from Pierre in the first, couldn't do anything with that. And then we had a run in the third. We also had men in first and third with just 1 out in the third. Couldn't do anything with that, and that's been it. So here's Omar. Omar's 1 for 3. He scored our lone run. He singled in that 3rd inning. Takes first pitch strike.
Straight change at 77. So Livan keeps on throwing off-speed pitches with the occasional fastball.
He's always, my perception of Livan has always been a guy out there on that mound who had fun pitching and loved to toy with hitters.
Well, he also loves the National League because he's a great hitter. He's always fielded his position well. If you field your position well and you can hit, if you're a National League pitcher, you probably average another couple of wins a year over the other guys who can't do either of those. Yeah,
but very seldom as he strikes him out again. You don't see that very often. In fact, that's the worst that we've seen Omar look at the plate.
Well, that's 9 strikeouts for a guy that's throwing in the 70s. His fastball, 84, 85.
But you don't see many guys that look like they're just toying with hitters out there.
And will be willing to put a guy on first base representing, at the time, an insurance run just to get to a guy that you feel you can get out. And as it worked out, he struck out Beckham to get out of last inning.
So here's Quentin. He's 1 for 2. He walked, he doubled, and he struck out. Called out on a very questionable pitch, the call that he did not like. As there's a strike on the corner with a fastball. A good lesson for all you youngsters out there who are not hard throwers. It's like we talk about youngsters that have trouble hitting the curveball, the slider, the breaking stuff. They can still play in the big leagues. Talk about pitchers who you don't have to throw in the mid-90s or even 90. The highest I've seen him hit today was 86. They come in all sizes and shapes in this game.
And you're only too fat when you're losing.
That's true. That's good. I like that. Cooperstown is that's going to be a base hit.
Well, that's a rarity because that's an easy play for Hernandez. That ball to his glove side, a one hopper, and he just flat out missed it. That's the first error he's made this year. And for him,
they'll probably give him a base hit on that.
Woo.
And it is a base hit.
Jeez. Christmas comes early.
And McLaren out. But I was just getting ready to say before the infield single by Quentin that as Cooperstown is filled with guys who are 30, 40 pounds overweight. But not in today's game. So Hernandez pitches well. He departs, and we'll be back.
Inning game to try to save it. He couldn't. He gave up the home run to AJ. But only 25 hits and 44 2/3 innings. He has, however, given up 7 home runs. And his best pitch, a straight change.
So here we go. Got our best hitter coming up. And the best thing about that base hit off the glove of Livan Hernandez is going to give a better chance for Paulie to hit in the 9th. So Paulie is 1 for 3. Picked up his 60th RBI back in the 3rd inning. Short lead by Quentin. And that pitch up high. Adam Dunn on deck. There's a changeup. And the count 1-1.
Well, that's his comfort pitch, and he got beat on a fastball in the extra inning game.
On an 0-2 fastball.
Yep. AJ hit a rocket out of the ballpark.
Put a little short stroke on him. Hit it hard and kept it fair. Outfield, no double set. They're deep, spread out. And that pitch is up high. So 2-1 to count to Paulie.
Sean Burnett, the left-hander, loosening up, because if Paulie does keep it alive, Adam Dunn's in the on-deck circle.
And he struck out Adam on Friday. And the count 3-1.
Clipper doesn't have his real good fastball. A If you're a dead fastball hitter, you're Paul Konerko, you're one of the best fastball hitters in baseball, do you ever get off the fastball to look for the straight change when a guy's best pitch is a straight change?
Not in this situation. Paulie covers the fastball. And since he's gone with that philosophy, he has become Paulie. There is a changeup.
Great change.
The thing is with Paulie, though, he's learned how to get the hang time because he's learned how to control the lower part of his body, his legs, his hips. That's why he can hit anything, you know, when he's swinging the bat well, and he has been doing that. A lot of times what a hitter will say is, I'm going to look for the fastball and hit the change. So you get them both covered. High and deep stretch. That wind's knocking it down right in front of Harold Baines is Hairston, who makes the catch. Dead gummit. Top of the order for the Nats here in the top of the 8th. They lead it 2-1. 2 runs on 3 hits for them. 1 run on 8 hits for us. Roger. Bernardino. He's 0 for 2. Guys, the bunt it, catch it. There you go.
Chris was taking a look over at Konerko, wondering if he was going to catch the ball. And Chris was the closest man to it. He's got a little smile on his face.
Well, if he didn't catch it, it was going to be a base hit.
No doubt. Takes a look. Looks over at Paulie. Paulie's nowhere near that one, Chris. Take it yourself, and he did just that.
So here's Worth. Jason is 0 for 3. Takes first pitch strike. And there's a breaking ball strike. So the Sox right now in jeopardy of having that 17 series win against interleague competition, it's in peril. So we can get some runs as that's foul.
Now that last ball that Paulie hit, I believe, just like Rios, he felt it was going out of the ballpark because Hairston also sprinted back and had to come in to make the catch.
Yeah, that wind has knocked down 2 of them.
That's pretty unusual. Although it is 69 degrees, it's a beautiful day, but you don't have that heat where the ball usually flies out.
He gone. Two down. And what would you do with an extra $1,000 a week every week for the rest of your life? Well, play Cash for Life instant games from the Illinois Lottery. You keep living, they keep giving $1,000 a week for life. Nice. Here's Zimmerman. He is 0 for 3. Little tapper, dropped, picked up, and almost thrown away.
Well, that little soft toss to first, not too good.
All right, we go to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be Dunn, Rios, and Pierzynski.
And 2/3 with 8 hits but 9 strikeouts, gave up just the 1 earned run. Espinosa, his 2-run homer. Well, the few mistakes that Philip Humber has made. He threw brilliantly today, but he's on the short end of a 2-1 score. As Sean Burnett comes in the game, the left-hander, specifically to go against Adam Dunn.
Adams 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts today. First pitch, fastball, strike. Bit of an unorthodox delivery by Burnett.
Two pitches, 2 fastballs at 90, and one the top part of the zone, the other pretty much the middle of the zone.
Outfielder deep, no double set. Checks it up. He did not go.
Burnett was very costly for these Nationals. They've made some good deals. The deal that bought him Burnett cost him Joel Hanrahan. Hanrahan, 24 for 24 in saves for the Pirates. And that's very good.
Well, Clint Hurdle says that Hanrahan reminds him of Goose Gossage.
So if he does about half of what the Goose did, he'll be real good.
How about 1/5?
Hector Santiago loosening in the pen. Just recently recalled from Double-A. He was a starter down there. Little housekeeping by Marty Foster. Another fastball. He didn't even bother with the breaking ball.
So 1 out. Well, Adam, I've been where he's at. It's not fun. Been where he's at. First pitch low and away, the fastball. Daleks, who was 0 for 3 last time up, leading off the 6th, hit a ball, looked like it was out of here, and Wynn knocked it down just like it did Konerko's. That ball hit hard in the right center field, but Bernardina closes 2 down. So here's AJ. Two runs, 3 hits, no errors for Washington. A run on 8 hits, no errors for our Sox.
There's Ivan Rodriguez. Alex Cora, who started today at his right. Here's what Ivan has done during the course of his career.
Well, he's been the best catcher I've ever seen in 52 years overall.
14-time All-Star.
Softly hit. And it's now the home plate umpire is
that
calling it
ball's
foul.
That ball was foul. And no, the call belongs to Marty Foster.
Home plate.
Not Bill Welke. McLaren's going to argue, but it's not going to matter. That is Marty Foster's call. He made it. And I'm surprised Morris didn't charge in a little harder because that ball was fair for a while.
The ball's got to go by the bag for it to become Welke's call. It did not. So he catch a break. And the count 2-1. That's down low. And Morris is going to get him again with the reception by Espinosa. All right, we'll go to the 9th. We trail it by 1. 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. He'll be followed by Mike Morse, who's 0 for 2 today. And then Danny Espinosa, who's 1 for 2 with a 2-run homer. 1-0 the count to Nix. Good curveball.
Since Don Cooper moved Chris Sale over on the pitching rubber, he's had a much better angle for that breaking ball and starting to get pretty consistent.
One hopper right to T. So 1 out. One of the better guys, one of the better coaches in the game right there, Don Cooper. He has done some things with some pitchers that will amaze you.
Just give him a pretty good arm. He was falling on hard times. Maybe 2 teams, 1 team, 3 teams are giving up on the guy. Don will make him better.
Breaking ball strike to Morse. Oh, what a nice situation for a general manager when you've got a pitching coach that can look at some guys and say, hey, you can get him, get him. We can make him a good one. And one of the stories of the year, one of the top baseball stories of the year is Philip Humber.
No question.
I mean, one of the
for individual stories.
Unbelievable story. The 1-2, and that's out of play. Morse, when he was with us, a shortstop at 6'5", 230 pounds.
It's like a Cal Ripken size shortstop.
Well, I'll tell you, he was something. What a great for the game of baseball. Signed more autographs than any other opposing player that I have ever witnessed. For every game, come out and sign autographs. That breaking ball low, I'll never forget. In that season, '83, when we were having a beanball war with Baltimore. Richard Dotson was pitching for us. Cal was just a kid, rookie. Comes up to the plate. Dotson drilled him right in the ribs. He turned around and looked at Carlton Fisk and said, oh, okay, are we ready to play baseball now? He gone.
Straight change. Morris looks back. Doesn't like to call him Marty Foster, but that's okay. 2 outs. Here's our Xfinity high definition shot of the game. Catches the outside corner. Chicago White Sox baseball in high definition is brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast.
So here's Espinosa. Fouls it away, hit a changeup. If you missed that at bat, he hit a changeup off Humber out of here, just foul. And a couple pitches later, here's another changeup that's fair. And there's the ground ball to Beckham. Nice job by Chris Sale. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We need one to tie.
Paul Konerko. And he's got 60 of them this year. That's the reason why it's a one-run game at this point.
So now that Lillibridge has been announced for 10, John McLaren is going to make the change, go to the right-hander in the bullpen, as Sean Burnett did his thing, came in, had a 1-2-3 8th inning. So he'll depart, and we'll be back.
At least one, possibly 2 runs as Drew Storn comes in at 4-2. ERA just under 3. On for the 38th time. Save opportunities, 18 of 21. One of them coming in this series. He had the opportunity to close it down in the 9th inning. In game 1, he didn't. The game they eventually won. John McLaren will manage his last game as a member of the Nationals, and Davey Johnson named the field manager for the rest of this season.
So here we go. Brett Lillibridge hitting for Mark Teahen, who was 1 for 2 today. And at 271, 7 homers and 15 knocked in. 23-year-old right-hander. Breaking ball strike out of Brownsburg, Indiana.
Storn's best pitch is a curveball. He's got a good fastball. It's not overwhelming, but his over-the-top curveball is the equalizer.
There's a curveball high. So to count 1-1. Beckham on deck, and Pierre in the hole. And got a couple of texts prior to the game asking me about Diane Viciato. Could you please fill us in on what he's doing? Well, last night he was 2 for 5, a homer, and drove in 4. There's there, it's flipped. Get out of here. Can't get there. But Viciato's numbers down in Charlotte. He's hitting .325, 12 homers, 54 RBIs, tied for the league lead in ribbies. And he also has 23 doubles.
That's after a very slow start.
Very. He's done it every year. He's got every year he started. First year at Birmingham, started off terrible first month and a half to 2 months. Came on strong like gangbusters. Last year at Charlotte, same thing. This year at Charlotte, same thing. Yes, there's a good hook right there.
Well, that's a pitch that really separates him. That's the reason why he was the second pick in the first round. It was the 10th player overall chosen in the Strasburg draft. And Storen with a Snapdragon breaking ball takes him down.
So here's Alexei hitting for Beckham. Gordon was 0 for 3 today. They have 2 runs on just 3 hits. Philip Humber pitched terrific. There was a high hanger right there, and he got away with it. Pops it up, so 2 down. And that'll bring up Juan Pierre. We have a run on 8 hits. We have stranded 9. They've stranded 4. But you got to tip your cap to Livan Hernandez. He went 6 2/3, gave up the 1 run on 8 hits, scattered 8 hits, and he had 9 strikeouts. One is 2 for 4, corners in close, outfield short, swung around to the left. Detroit beat Arizona 8-3. Alberto Albuquerque 5-1 the winner. Milwaukee beat Minnesota 6-2. Narveson over Pavano. Later on tonight, Fausto Carmona against Bumgarner out in San Francisco.
Last time Bumgarner went to the mound, 8 straight hits in the first inning.
Never seen that. I was watching that, so I saw it then. That was against Minnesota.
And the oddity was it went single, double, single, double, single, double, single, double. Then a sacrifice and another double.
That's a hard day at the park.
Wow.
3-0. Thought it was ball 4. Omar on deck.
Artie Foster has had a fairly liberal zone. And
that's way out.
That's very liberal.
So ball 4 all of a sudden goes to 3-2. That's bad. That's bad. Softly hit. So instead of having a runner at first, the game's still going. This ball game is over on a bad ball 4 call. And they win it 2-1, and we'll be back.